Welcome to GMEX Digital Talks in collaboration with the Association of Futures Markets at our jointly hosted digital transformation event in Dubai. Hi, I'm Hiranda Misra, CEO of GMEX Group, and I'm pleased to welcome Jez Mohideen, who's CEO of Laser Digital, a Nomura company, to the hot seat. Welcome, Jez.
Laser is actually a fully segregated entity set up by Nomura for digital assets, primarily focused on three major verticals: trading, asset management, and VC. And the heavy focus is on actually the entire digital transformation enabled by the blockchain to remain within this entity for Nomura Group.
Great, and Jez, I mean, a great panel earlier on. I mean, how are you enjoying the event, and what did you talk about?
I thought it was very, a transformational event as well, in the sense that seeing number of TradFi entities very engaged, both at the level of regulation all the way to kind of the use of potential use of digital assets, and very interested to see some of the commonalities in terms of bottlenecks they're facing, and some of the challenges they face inside as well. The main thing being the change in the mindset of the seniors and the firm to adapt the technology. But what is interesting is from the large to the clearers there as well, that they kind of concur to the same fact. We've concluded that digital asset is here to stay, the blockchain is here to stay, the technology trend is transformational, and it's a great event around that.
Thanks, Jez. And what does digital transformation mean to you? I mean, whether it's personally or from the perspective of the firm, because you're doing some great things with Laser.
I think it is my prior job within the wholesale part of Nomura was actually focusing on commercially driven digitization opportunities within the entirety of digital transformation. And we did great things, adapting big data, cloud, AI, and all that. And including DLT projects as well. But what is always harder is actually, we were always looking, could we create a fully digitized front to back entity? It's highly challenging in a traditional entity. So therefore, of course, the birth of Laser is to try and attempt at that entire front to back digitize, and also, of course, prepare for the digital asset and tokenization of real world assets. So in terms of all the kind of traditional assets we trade, when it gets tokenized, we can use the same platform and actually, see it's a defensive investment and effort for the firm as well.
And it's very, very interesting because a company like Nomura moving into this space, getting you from within the bank to run it is groundbreaking, because not a lot of the banks have gone into it the way that you guys are doing with the hedge fund, the proprietary business centered around this focus on decentralization, the investment side. So to the extent that you can talk about it, what can we expect to see from Laser Digital in the coming next 12 months?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a 5 years in the making, the project. When I first went into the firm, when they created the digital office, the ambition of creating, obviously digital transformation within the firm. So this is a byproduct of the digital transformation of the firm, while of course fully segregated to prevent any contamination risk. I would say it's a sandbox, while it's a commercial entity. It's not a internally driven cost-saving project, R&D. So within that, we are really trying to actually build these three verticals, in effect, actually to provide greater service to the entire group, whether it's asset management, trading, or the venture as well. Because particularly, we think traditional finance are going to get not necessarily disrupted, more and more going to adapt the Web3 and the DeFi and the kind of, I would say, the crypto-fi. So we want to kind of make sure we are there as leaders, building the kind of technology, know-how, bring also skill set from the crypto natives, actually learn the best of their skill set, while also blending a lot of our institutional skill set. So what we've done with this entity is also brought significant amount of people from the TradFi within Nomura, naturally have the DNA of Nomura, while also we've gone aggressive and hired people from the ecosystem, so that kind of bring the blended nature. So the aim is ultimately provide, of course, greater good for the group, naturally, and shareholder value for the group, while also, as I said, I would say the firms have no choice to adapt to this technology trend. And in a way, you could say it's a defensive or aggressive play. It's a hedge for the firm. As was discussed in the previous session, it's an asset class here to stay, the technology is here to stay, and therefore this is one means of kind of building the right building blocks for them at our core group.
I know this is great. A digitalized hedge fund for a digital hedge, which is really exciting. And then any other predictions, that we can finish on over the next 12 months that you see in this space?
It's funny. I was in a conference a couple of weeks ago. I was particularly focused on very similar theses to this, in the sense that how the tradition, where the institution, when are they going to adapt, are they there, and so forth. Because the next stages of particularly the evolution of the digital asset, you need to see more institutions coming. Without that, it's not going to happen. Despite the challenges market faced, major challenges last year, 3 big events, you've seen more institutions talking about it than we've ever seen before. So larger institutions haven't backed off from the effort. If anything, exactly the point it was raised before, they're more convinced now you need traditional players coming into this space. So we see ourselves as the kind of bridge between traditional finance and I would say the kind of the Web3 digital finance. That's where we see, and I think the adoption will pick up even momentum into the second half of this year. As and when actually there's a little bit of clarity when we get through the regulators and the business models get rectified as well.
Jez, thank you so much for your insights. I mean, they've been fascinating.
Thanks very much, and thanks for the invitation as well. Thank you.